NORTHWOODS in February. The Missouri Jobs Center moved from its longtime home at North Oaks Plaza to a new office inside the renovated former Northwest Plaza shopping mall in St. Anne. The center, one of three operated in St. Louis County by the county's Division of Workforce Development, had been located for more than 2 decades in this struggling municipality where the unemployment rate was 19% at most recent count. It was a place where job seekers could search for jobs or training, take classes or literacy programs, or use computers to print resumes. Many of the center's users walked there, moving critical job services about 10 miles away from the county's nexus of poverty frustrated many officials in the area who questioned the reasoning. The 37,000-square-foot office has been empty since. This week, an advisor for County Executive Steve Stenger acknowledged the county still has 7 years on its lease with $2.3 million in rent due to the owner, Gregory Sanson. "We were stuck with a bad lease," said Stenger advisor Paul Hampel. He said the office was in very poor condition. "We had to get the people who were in there out of there." The Stenger administration has steadily moved county offices to the former St. Anne shopping mall, now known as the Crossings at Northwest Plaza, which was built with tens of millions of dollars in public support. This year, the county moved the Board of Elections there in a lease valued at $40 million to $50 million over 20 years. For several months, the county paid rent at 2 locations. Stenger's critics have said the move to St. Anne was designed to reward the Crossings developers, brothers Robert and P. David Glarner, friends of Stenger, who have donated $325,000 to his campaign. Stenger has dismissed any link between donations and the lease, saying the Crossings is an excellent lease at an excellent location, but members of the county council said they didn't know about the county's long-term commitment to North Oaks. Council member Hazel Irby, in whose district the job center was located, said we didn't find out until later that there was a 7-year lease. Paying rent at 2 locations for the same service is not how any business works, said Council Chairman Sam Page. It was not clear last week how much rent taxpayers were paying for the new job center in St. Anne, which has 42,000 square feet. The Post-Dispatch asked Stenger's office on October 23 to allow a reporter to review all leases and contracts for county government offices. Various Stenger aides responded, first saying that the request was not sent to the right person, next that Stenger's office did not have such records, and finally that officials were working on providing access. State law requires a government agency to explain a delay longer than 3 days and provide a date when the records would be available, but none was provided to by Jeremy Kohler St. Louis Post-Dispatch. A blow to North Oaks. The loss of the job center was a blow for the shopping center at Lucas and Hunter Natural Bridge Roads, which opened in 1962. The center includes a Save-A-Lot supermarket, a Walgreens, an Advance Auto Parts store and several other shops. It had the largest bowling alley in Missouri, North Oaks Bowl, but the lanes closed in 2014. In 2007, the city of Northwoods authorized a special taxing district to collect an extra 1% tax at stores in the center. The tax allowed Sanson to borrow $1.6 million for upgrades to the center, which would be paid back over 20 years. By the taxes collected, but an audit by Missouri auditor Nicole Galloway released in September found conflicts of interest that led to some questionable payments. The audit said the tax was not raising enough to pay off the bond. Sanson previously said expenditures of bond funds and sales tax revenues were proper. He did not reply to requests for comment. Hampel said a move was necessary because the office at North Oaks had a lot of problems. It flooded, it had electrical problems, mold problems, he said. There were times, in fact, that the place was so messed up that it couldn't be opened to the public. Asked why the county did not force Sanson to make the repairs, or why the county did not try to get out of the lease, Hampel said that under the terms of the lease, the landlord was responsible only for the exterior of the building, not the interior. The terms could not be verified because the county has yet to turn over copies of its leases. A check of records shows the county has invested in renovations to the North Oaks building before. An ordinance in 2008 authorized $50,000 in unspecified work. Hampel said the county this year completed more renovations. Asked why the county did not temporarily move during renovations instead of taking on a second lease, Hampel said the rent in St. and was a good deal and the office space much more suitable. Hampel said the county plans to revive the North Oaks office for new programs, although plans were not yet firm. First and foremost, we're going to establish a resource center, a one-stop center for youth and young adults with the goal to provide family-strengthening and family-friendly programs there and then some other activities that might benefit that area, he said. He said the county was also discussing with the St. Louis Economic Development Partnership to possibly use it as a training space for high-tech jobs, but first we have to fix it up. He added some details in an email. A mix of community groups will occupy and operate the space. The county will help these groups get started, but the groups will be responsible from there. The county is seeking federal funding for the program and expects to have a response from the feds very soon on that. Hampel emphasized that the condition of the North Oaks office was a problem Stenger inherited. He said former county executive Buzz Westfall's office entered the first contract to lease the space in 1994, and the administration of former executive Charlie Dooley renewed it in 2004 with a 20-year lease. Among the first problems that he knew had to be dealt with was this space, Hampel said.